What is up, Moose Knuckles? JJ back here this time with Snyder and Robert talking a little
I like Robert.
PGA. Yeah, I mean, I assume it's on your birth certificate, Bob. So, I would hope that you like that name. Or, are you just full Bob, or what's on the birth certificate?
I'm a little bit of everything, Robert. Robert's on the birth certificate, but people call me Rob, Bob, whatever.
Okay, I mess with
Whatever floats their boat. It's not up to me.
This time it is for the John Deere Classic over at TPC Deere Run. At least that's what my notes say. Now, good news and bad news about this show. Bad news, no UncleT. Good news, no Mangone. So, for us, it's kind of a take the good with the bad. So, Mangone, if you're somewhere watching, I mean, there's no excuse. Like, why would you not be on this? So, hopefully, you're not even watching.
There are projections for Mangone right now.
Yeah, Mangone
like anything.
Mangone is nothing without his projections.
That's not true. I didn't say that. But
you heard what Bob said, Mangone. Don't let him backpedal out of this one. So Snyder, just I guess briefly as we normally do, give us a little heads up on the course, what to expect. I'm looking at the player pool here. This looks real watered down. So maybe you could briefly touch on that as well. And then we'll dive into a DFS player too.
Yeah, this is pretty much a pretty shitty pool here of guys. I mean, they're mid-tier guys at best with a couple guys up top. But we're going to have a birdie fest here. I mean, the winner's usually in the low to mid-20s under par for the 4 days. I mean, you have to hit your fairways because the rough can be – I mean, there's easy to hit fairways here, but once you get in that rough, it's like 4-inch, like deep bluegrass fescue rough, so it's a little tough to get out of. So you definitely want to hit your fairways. Good wedge play. I mean, you're going to be a lot of shots are going to be coming in from 100 to 150 yards approach, and so you want to be good there. Cash in on your birdie opportunities is a must here. Avoid bogeys, and yeah, you just need to hit fairways and greens basically and get a hot putter.
Awesome. Yeah. So I find it interesting. Maybe you could just briefly chat on this. Why would so many? I don't even see like a big name. I mean, for me, I guess Berger would be the big name. Sunjay, of course, is the big name, but I mean, not as like in the elite category. I mean, Mangone's boy, Streel Daddy's in like the top 5 in terms of odds. What makes a tournament like this not so appetizing for some of the bigger players?
Next week we've got the Open Championship, so a lot of guys already headed overseas. They're playing in that. The Scottish Open this week actually has a pretty loaded field of like high-end PGA guys over there playing the tune-up for the Open next week. So a lot of these guys don't really want to head over. I mean, I have seen success of guys playing this event and then going over straight the next week, but it's pretty rare. I mean, whoever does win this, if they aren't already qualified for the Open, John Deere will charter a plane over and just fly them straight over on Sunday, so they'll get a plane in the Open. They have one spot left open to the winner if they're not already qualified here.
Oh, so that's why you see. Okay, so that's why you probably see a bunch of the under names. And I guess we could talk on that later, how that goes into maybe handicapping, because motivation's obviously got to be big for a bunch of these guys, despite all that, because winning gets them that free ticket in, right?
Yeah, definitely. If they win and they aren't qualified, so it's huge for them. And some of these guys are off after looking for their first win. I mean, if they get a win here, it still has 500 FedEx points. I mean, all the perks come with this event still, so they can still get like a 2-year exemption on tour if they win here. So a lot of these guys are looking at this as like an easier event here to steal a win.
No, very cool. Very cool. Now, in regards to DFS, obviously we'll be able to make this show a little quicker with less voices. Again, that's another shot at you, Mangone or Travis. Snyder, who do you like, 1 or 2 guys DFS that you'd be targeting for this week for DraftKings?
Yeah, I'm going to look to keep targeting my boy Seamus Power. I've been on him the last month and a half, and he's just been rattling off some great finishes. He's on 4 straight top 20s. He's just been great off the tee. Approach play has been great. I mean, makes a lot of birdies, so I think he fits in real well here. And he's priced up to like $9K. We saw him at like mid-7Ks last week, so I'm hoping that $9K price tag kind of scares some guys off.
Awesome. Like it. And Bobby, who do you like for DFS?
So for me, I like Brian Harmon, but I don't know if I'm just going to try to avoid the 10K range. It's kind of like a early look for me. So I don't know. I feel like Snyder kind of hit on it when we were talking before the show, like maybe not playing these 10K guys. and getting down in these lower ranges is kind of the way to go.
Now, I started to cut you off by it, but a guy I do have a quick question on for either of you. Doc Redman was basically the same odds last week in a much more stacked pool, or at least I think he was. Now he's 55-1. I mean, and he's typically good with his iron play, or at least better than with his iron play than his driver. Is he just so out of form that you wouldn't even look at him at that price for 55-1? I assume his DK price is probably in the 7s or low 8s somewhere.
I never played Doc Redman, but can obviously see playing him here. Like, you have a much weaker field. He's just a guy for me, like, just don't get right. But at 8,200 in this field, like, I can't see why you wouldn't. He's obviously going to end up pretty chalky, it would seem. Correct, Snyder?
Yeah, I'm not going to be touching him this week. I expect him to catch some ownership. I mean, he's just been bad off the tee, and I just normally don't play him. Yeah, I don't really see anything good that would lead me to play him this week.
Okay. Yeah, just had the I saw that name down there. I didn't expect him to turn it once I was getting to those 50 odds. Well, speaking of that, I guess a decent segue. Longshots. Snyder, who's your best value guy for this tourney?
I'm going to be looking to Patty Perez. I mean, he's just been playing some great golf recently. He's coming off of a solid finish last week. He got 14th at the Rocket Mortgage. I mean, he struggled a little off the tee, but, I mean, he's just been a great short game player. The iron play is usually there for him. And he got 10th at the Palmetto and 14th at Rocket Mortgage. I think he's close to a breakthrough here. He hasn't won in a few years, so, I mean, it could be his time.
Awesome. Like it. Bobby, is there a long shot you like here? Or you think might
I
have
like Perez. I think that's a really good call. I play Perez week out for whatever reason. He's just one of my guys I play. Scott Stallings, just the approach and putting and DK points for this field isn't bad. I don't know, ball striking, he's 23rd in the field. I don't mind him at 7,400. He could be someone that I could have interest in, I feel like.
Yeah, he's 70-1 too. He's kind of long, kind of what we like. Now, I know this is kind of tough to handicap, and it brings up the question I had before about value and finding motivation here with a watered down field as well. But who do you think actually wins this tournament, Snyder?
I think I'm going to roll with Alex Noren. I was on him last week. I mean, he's a great putter. He was right there. He fired a solid round on Sunday and he posted the score. It was one back of the 3 guys that tied for the playoff. But he was right there. He gained strokes across the board last week, gained like 4 strokes putting. The iron play was good. Off the tee has been good for him. He's gained off the tee like in his last 5 events, and he's always got a strong short game, so he can pile up birdies here. I like that price on him.
Awesome. Bobby, who do you think wins this tournament?
I think I'm going to go Strill Daddy. Tee to green, 3rd in the field, ball striking 4th, approach 4th, DK points 5th. This is all last 24 rounds. So I don't know, Strill Daddy, not used to playing the 9,700 for him, but obviously it's just the field. I'd take a shot on Strill Daddy. I like Power too. What made you get off Power for the win?
I like him too. I mean, he's just right in that same range. I'm not going to go to any of these top guys, so I'm going to be hitting like some of these 30-1 guys, like 50-1, 40-1. I think some of those guys have the best odds of winning here, like value-wise.
No, it makes sense.
Now, I will tell you this. Uncle T may not be here, but at least he provides content even though he's not here. He likes Strill Daddy and Stallings. Streelman on the higher side.
Should I change my picks?
No, it's fine. I didn't. It's not. You didn't know that. Maybe you did. I don't know. But he likes Streelman on the higher odd side of things at 25-1, and then he likes as a long shot. He likes Stallings. So,
Uncle T, always good to be with Uncle T, I guess.
Yeah, I mean a lot of similarities. You love to see it. Now we could slide over quickly to top 20s, and see that's the good part about being a little shorter in the microphone area. The show just kind of moves. But anyway, so top 20, Snyder. Do you have a matchup you like or a guy you like for top 20 that has some value for you?
Yeah, I think like looking back at that Seamus Power, you can get him at like plus 175 at FanDuel, and he's coming off of 4 straight top 20s. And he's coming to even a more watered down field. I mean, I think this sets up great for him. I mean, he's just outside the top 125 also. And if he can have a strong finish here and get inside that top 125, that's going to allow him to get into the FedEx Cup playoffs and will allow him for a 1-year exemption next year with a PGA Tour card.
Awesome. Bob, who do you think's got a good shot at the top 20?
I need to pull up the top 20s first. Sorry about that.
No worries. While you're doing that, I can give out UncleT's because again, Mangone, if you're listening or watching, UncleT comes prepared for the show, whether he's on it or not. He doesn't play hooky and then not even give any content while he's playing hooky. UncleT's top 20. Yes, he likes power with you, Snyder, and he also likes Glover. Is that Lucas Glover? I have that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So he's in here too. What is he like? Is he way down there? He's 45 to 1. Okay. Yeah. His top 20s, he likes Power and Glover. Oh, and even Stallings at plus 335. So he's got some decent value there. So I'll put
I'm gonna go to Snyder's guy, Pat Perez plus 275. Always love me some Pat Perez. And Hank Lebioda plus 225 to top 20.
You can get Perez at FanDuel at plus 320, I believe. I mean, FanDuel usually has the better top 20s for some reason. Yeah, they're always juiced high on FanDuel.
I don't think I can access FanDuel Sportsbook.
320?
Yeah, that's what I seen earlier.
Okay, awesome. From a matchups perspective, tournament like this, I know, again, hate to sound like a broke record. I know it's watered down. But would there be a guy you're looking to back in matchups and then a guy you're looking to fade, Snyder?
Yeah, looking to fade. I'm going to start with that one first because I like to fade Kramer Hickok. He popped at the Travelers where he gained like near the 8 strokes putting, so that was a key factor. But he missed the cut before that, and he comes out the Rocket Mortgage last week, loses approach, loses putting. I think he's matched up with Pat Perez right now, so I'm just looking to continue the snowball with Pat Perez there. And another one I was looking at is Noren. You can get Alex Noren getting plus 105 against Sung Jae Im, and I'm never really one to back Sung Jae, and I like the value we can get with Noren.
I'll be honest with you. You can say what you want about me. I've never even heard of Kramer Hickok. Or is it Hitchcock? Hitchcock?
Yeah, he broke through with a second place finish at the Travelers a couple weeks ago, but yeah, he hasn't. I think that was the second top 50 in like the last year or so. So he hasn't really been doing much.
Awesome. And then Bobby, who you like either matchup or fade or both?
I usually like. It's interesting. Kevin Streelman liked him to win the tournament, but now I'm seeing him on Booker. Like Henley's favored in matchups, which I think is pretty interesting. I like Henley. I like the way he's been golfing as well. If I had to go to anyone, I'd probably go. I like Troy Merritt, Patton Kazire. I'm seeing them on Booker. Merritt's minus 129 to Kazire. I feel like you go Merritt in that situation. Anything on DK matchups?
And then just so you know, while you're kind of thinking a bit there, Robert.
Yeah.
UncleT for matchups like Snyder's boy Power over Fratelli. And that's, I think, minus 120 at DK.
I think so, yeah.
Interesting. I like Hank Lebioda over Steve Stricker on DK. Plus 125 for Hank. Steve Stricker's minus 155.
Yeah, I know Lebioda's going to be pretty popular here, and I've been backing him lately. The only thing that kind of bothers me with Lebioda here is he's been a little off target with the driver from time to time, and I think he could find the rough here. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to play him still or not. I mean, he's definitely up there in the player pool, but just a slight worry there.
Awesome.
Interesting. That's a good take.
Stricker's just got a phenomenal course history here, and he's just been dominating the old man's tour. He just won a event maybe 2 weeks ago. He won by like 6 shots. I mean, he's playing with all the old timers, but I mean, they're still all right.
Awesome. We have a little extra time. Maybe we could have Robert tell us about that 7-figure framed check that's behind him, if he has a moment.
That check? No. That was one of the original Millie checks. They don't make those anymore, pretty much. Those are pretty much, I don't know, just a when you won a Millionaire Maker a while back, that's what they gave you. But they don't. I guess Big T doesn't have one of those.
I get, yeah. Well, there you go. I guess briefly, not to get too personal, but like, how did it change maybe your gambling perspective or maybe even life with that type of song?
This is absolutely fucking nuts. But
yeah, I mean, you don't need to talk about the illegal stuff. I mean, let's keep it PG. I mean,
it's good sweat, good overall. I don't know.
Was that from the NFL a few years back or what?
NFL, yeah, NFL.
Nice. That's what I thought.
Nice. You love to see it. These millionaire stories are always fruitful and always semi-fun to hear, even though you were a little brief and vague, but I can appreciate it.
It was just caught me off guard.
That's the whole point of this show.
Was that back on the Monday night sweat when you had to wait and sweat out the Monday night game for it?
Yeah, it was the Jonas Gray weekend. I luck boxed Jonas Gray, and then I had to sweat out Le'Veon Bell on the Monday night. That was back when you had to sweat.
You had to sweat out prime Le'Veon Bell. Oof.
What'd you say?
You had to sweat out prime. You had to.
Prime Lev, yeah. We won by like 2.5 points. So.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
So I guess final notes, if any, on this tournament, Snyder, and how you're looking forward to the Open next week, and obviously we'll have a bigger show for that. But as far as this, maybe some final notes for folks that do want to dabble in this tournament, maybe gamble extra responsibly this week, knowing how much motivation might play into this. But overall, what are some final thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. I mean, the Open, we're going to have some great opportunities, both betting-wise and DFS-wise. We're going to have some great content out next week. But for this week, I'm going to be looking at some of these guys, like maybe a little ways down the board, like these mid-tier guys that like a win on this event will mean so much more to some of these guys and a few of those guys that are up top that already are even playing them next week. But yeah, I'm going to scale it back a little bit this week, but I'm looking to have fun here. It should be a good event. I mean, this is always a fun one with all the birdies being made.
I love that, though. Snyder, what's your thoughts about this week? Well, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to next week. Love it. Bobby, any final notes here? I know you went around pretty well with the DFS and between top 20 matchups and such. And look, let's give a quick shout out to Bobby, who rushes home to be on this show.
This is what happened, right? Like no one's like, I don't know, no one wants to come out to. My family owns a restaurant. I help run it. Everyone's kind of like doesn't want to work right now, so I don't want to leave you guys hanging and not come to work. So I made sure I got here.
You see, that's why
we're seeing it firsthand. So yeah,
that's why you're on the growing list, and Mangone is just like a consistent fucking free fall. But it's okay. It's okay. He'll have his day. Day in court. He will. But no, look, thanks guys for doing this today. And I know this is a lighter tournament, but I know some people will still bet it. And folks, if you are betting it, as Snyder basically said, look forward to next week. Gamble responsibly. There is money to be made in this tournament with value in certain areas, but again, the tournament next week will be much larger. There'll be much bigger, much more odds to bet in terms of the betting. From the betting angles, there'll be much bigger prize pools in DFS. As for the schedule for this week, Joey will have an ML video either tonight or early tomorrow morning, another MLB video tomorrow. I was fortunate enough to hit the O's team total, the correlated team totals at 4 in like the 5th inning, so that was nice. And then I'll be back with Thursday with another vid spread, and the DFS crew hold it down in NBA. And I believe there also may be a Wimbledon video from Spread and myself on Thursday night, so stay tuned for all of that as well. Snyder, Bobby, where can they catch you guys on the DFS end?
I'll be in Discord all today, tomorrow, and I'll have a betting article up for this event, and I'll have some core plays and tiers up on the DFS side as well.
And is there a show tomorrow for golf? Or
I don't believe so.
Okay, yeah. So this is the bread and butter. This is the show that's going to win you some money. I mean, maybe not, or maybe you just look forward to next week. But either way, thank you everybody for watching. Gamble responsibly, stay safe, and take a little screenshot of that check behind Bobby. It's the real deal.